let just a few people, we're going to let people trickle in, but we are live now.
Alrighty.
Already?
I know I don't like really count down too much because I'm just like, all right, well, we're just going to go live. Um, yeah, so welcome to the show, everybody. This is our live DC Fandom recap. And I know that we are excited to talk about some of the stuff coming out of DC Fandom this weekend. Normally, this would have been a longer show because last year's, I think, was like 2 days long, but it was like split up between multiple days.
Your show or DC Fandom?
DC Fandom.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to get that straight.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah, so DC Fandom was yeah, it was like two days last year. One in October. Well, one in August, which was like the main show, and they talked about like Wonder Woman 84 and everything, and that was like the big thing last year, and like they gave a brief glimpse into Black Adam, and then like this year we got I mean, they just killed it right off the bat with Black Adam. But before we get into that, I just need to do my quick introductions here. Welcome to the show. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am your host. And joining me, I have two friends here from the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast, or Scuttlebutt, pardon me. Uh, I have
Gotta
Ro
get the butt
and
right.
yeah, I got to get the butt right. I have Ro and Chantel from Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. Thank you guys for joining me so much today. This is awesome. I just want to say thank you, and I'm happy to just be talking about this with you guys.
Awesome.
Me
Thanks for
too.
having us.
Yes.
Yes. So, um, normally I do announcements and we do news, but like this whole thing is just news.
News.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
this whole thing is just news. I wrote a lot of notes. We're not going to get to everything tonight because there's just so much. But we are going to cover TV stuff. We're going to cover movie stuff. So we got the first look at Black Adam, and we got a little sizzle reel from behind the scenes footage, and then we got one of the opening scenes where we see Black Adam after he's awakened by explorers. And during that whole scene, I was thinking, why the hell are you doing this? Haven't you ever seen any, mummy movie ever? You don't do this one thing. And then I was thinking, well, if they don't do that, then we don't get a Black Adam movie. so,
Right.
so yeah. Did any of you see the footage from this?
I did see the sizzle reel.
Okay.
I
Shanti, did
did.
you catch that
No.
one?
No, I've been running around all day today. Like the only one I was waiting for was the Batman.
Was the
Right.
Batman.
Yeah.
And even then, like, that felt like it took way too long to get there.
Yeah.
I know. I was waiting all day for the notification. Okay, here it is.
And then my phone fell asleep. Like I don't know, 5 seconds before they said, "Okay, now here is the trailer," and then my phone just stopped. I'm like, "Oh, damn!" Then I couldn't
Yeah.
find a link.
I
Oh, I
know.
know.
And I still haven't had a chance to rewatch it.
Yeah, yeah. I've only watched it twice now since it aired three
More than
hours
me.
ago. Yeah. But like during that whole thing, it was interesting to see like Matt Reeves talk to Robert and Zoe about the
Hmm.
the relationship between Selena and Bruce and how they were approaching the characters. But at the same time, it was just I just wanted them to just get to the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, like you told me this stuff last year. I don't
Right.
need to hear this again. Just get to the
I get it.
trailer. All right,
But
let's just
it's
go ahead.
because I'm a big behind the scenes guy, as everybody knows me,
Hmm.
and I love watching the sizzle reels. I
Hmm.
love watching the interviews, especially leading up to movies like this because they're big,
Right.
they're
Yeah,
big tent pole type movies, big events.
yeah,
Right.
So to watch a little bit of the sizzle reel and all the behind the scenes, I love, absolutely love that stuff because it gives
yeah,
me an added I guess added excitement for the movie. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm already excited for movies in general,
Yeah.
And especially, these genre movies. Shanti and I are the same way. We
Yeah.
just love watching all this stuff. So I like the interaction between the three, the director and the two stars, and it was
Yeah.
really great to see, because you want to see, how the actors kind of handle it off. I mean, I don't want to say off camera, but off character, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have had issues with Pattison in the back, in the past, because of his previous roles. But I saw him in, what is that last movie on Netflix? He was phenomenal. He was a really, really great. That was a
yeah.
really great role. The one that he played a priest,
I
pervy
didn't see
priest.
that one.
Oh, that's good. You should check it out. It's really, really good. Can't
Yeah.
remember what the name of it
I
was.
saw him in Water for Elephants, and I thought he was so good in that movie. But I have a lot of thoughts on some of, not the hate, because I really haven't seen like too much hate, just
Yeah.
a lot of
Like snark.
wariness about it. That's all. And I have a lot of comments on that. But I guess we'll wait until we're actually ready to talk about it before I
Yeah.
get into that.
Well, yeah, we've got a little bit to go
So
through
I'm a
here.
big defender of him. That's why.
Oh, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to really like give him a chance. And
Yeah.
as an actor, you have to understand. Look, if Twilight's being offered to you, I mean, listen, if that would have been offered to me, I would have taken it myself. So I
Sure.
can't,
Yeah,
I can't blame the guy. It's not his fault that that's a horrible book.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere.
That's what I say. So
Yeah.
I can't knock him for that for the rest of his life.
And Pattinson's more than proved, especially in these more
Agree.
independent roles, that he can definitely do.
He's got the chops. He
Oh
can do
yeah,
it.
absolutely. So with the Black Adam sizzle reel, we got a look at Pierce Brosnan holding the Doctor Fate helmet. And then we also just saw a few other actors like Aldous Hodge playing Hawkman. I mean, that cast is just huge. It's just, and it's full of heavy hitters. So The Rock said, I was born to play the role of Black Adam. Do you agree with that, or do you think like they could have gone with somebody else for Black Adam?
Shanti?
I think there's always a possibility, obviously, that someone else could play a character.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see it. But I'm also biased because I like the Rock, so I'm okay with him pretty much doing anything.
Yeah.
I think The Rock has had an extraordinary journey from his wrestling days to acting. I think he has. It seems like he has fun in every role that he takes.
He has such charisma.
So good for him. Admittedly, I'm not a big DC guy, and earlier in the day, I posted, I'm not a DC guy, but a lot of these trailers look pretty nice and shiny, which, they do. But, is it something that I'm rushing to the theater to see? No, because I'm really not familiar with the characters. But you're right. The cast is stellar. The actors that I recognize, I've seen in other things, and obviously Pierce Brosnan.
I didn't even know Pierce was in it, so that's why I reacted that way. I was like, I like
pretty
Pierce.
Epic. Yeah, and I'm a kid of the 90s. Like, I was born in the late 80s, and throughout the 90s, I grew up with Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. So, like, he was my definitive James Bond. So it's really cool to see him do a kind of like another Swab and Debonair role again, but like in a different universe. So we had that, and then we had The Flash season 8 is happening. I can't believe we're 8 seasons into the show now. And the only thing I want to touch on that is Barry Allen's classic Flash costume has now been complete with the gold boots from the comic books. So I know a lot of people were tweeting about that. I just had to put it in there. Next, we have James Wan and Jason Momoa giving us a first look at Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, which I'm a big fan of the first Aquaman movie. I think that it's very well done. And
still haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Doesn't interest me.
I mean,
I think I went to the theater,
but
and I'm like you, Shanti. It wasn't like something like, ooh, let's go see it. But I mean, besides it being CGI heavy, very similar to Black Panther towards the end.
Okay.
I think I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of enjoyed it. So
I'll give it a go.
We,
Yeah.
we went.
Do I sound excited?
You sound cautiously optimistic.
I just DC has been breaking my heart so,
Yeah.
so much these last few years.
Yeah.
So it feels like a task now to watch these movies just for the sake of catching up and being part of the
Yeah.
discussion. It's like doing homework, and I hate that. I don't like movies becoming homework. That's
Yeah.
heartbreaking for me.
No, I get it. I totally get it. But with the Aquaman thing, it's cool to see that they're bringing James Wan back. And if there's anybody that really knows how to world build, it's definitely James Wan.
Yeah, I do like James Wan.
Um, I'm not a big horror movie fan, but what he's done with the Conjuring universe
I was gonna
is,
say he does horror.
Yeah.
yeah,
I love The Conjuring, the first
Well
one.
done. Well done.
Hmm.
yeah. But then, he's also done like Fast and Furious, so he can do action movies
Hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
Um, and it was the highest grossing DC movie ever for them, with $1 billion+. So it was just cool to see that. We got some pictures of Amber Heard. We saw Jason Momoa riding a seahorse behind
Oh
a
God.
in front of a blue screen.
All right, I gotta watch the trailer for that. The Seahorse.
Well, they just show it on the set, and like you just
Oh,
see him like just riding, and I'm just like, oh,
yes.
okay, you're selling it. That's awesome. So Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will actually be in December of 2022, which is pretty big. Then we got Milestone Comics, and they had a big panel here. Milestone Comics, if you don't know, is a black-owned comic imprint that is now working with DC, and they've been knocking it out of the park. They really started with they rebooted Static Shock, which was pretty big, and that's been
Hmm.
selling huge. And they've done Hardware and Icon, and they're some of DC's best-selling books right now. And they have two milestone movies in the works. One of them is a live-action Static Shock movie that Michael B. Jordan is producing, and
Hmm.
then the other is a feature-length animated movie that will feature all of the milestone heroes together. How do you feel about the live-action Static Shock movie? Uh, Especially as somebody that grew up in the 90s with like the WB afternoons and stuff like I did, and Saturday morning cartoons with like Static Shock, Batman the Animated Series, and everything. How do you feel about this?
See, I don't remember Static Shock. That's the funny thing. I don't.
Okay.
So I can't comment.
She remembers more of her tomato soup and her grilled cheese sandwich
No, not even
On
that.
Saturdays.
on Saturdays.
No.
Oh,
No, I was more heavy into the Batman animated series and Tiny
yeah.
Toons Adventures.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a Tiny Toons kid too, so Plucky Duck any day.
Yep. Yep.
So, but Michael B. Jordan is involved, which is pretty cool, and we've heard rumors of him being involved in a Superman project as well, of him playing a Superman from another Earth, which I think would be interesting. Is this? I mean, this is going to be his first foray into DC, so we have that. Then Milestone's actually bringing or starting an initiative to bring in more black comic creators, which I think is huge, and that's
Yeah.
that's just awesome.
Hmm.
That it's just big for representation, and I think that's great. We
Agreed.
see DC and Webtoon is teaming up to give us a Batman series, a new animated series centered around the Bat family. So we're going to see Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, Tim
Hmm.
Drake. We're going to see Duke. We're going to see Cassandra. We're going to see Barbara. I saw that teaser and I just didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that big. People are going to watch it, but I just didn't think it was for me. Uh, we have Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. This is a brand new
Hmm.
game, and this game is set for a 2022 release. And they showed the trailer for this, and it's really funny just to see King Shark, Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, and Harley Quinn all work together to essentially assassinate the Justice League that is now under Brainiac's control.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they do something with there's a bit at the end of the trailer where the Penguin's running away from them, and they keep telling Amanda Waller to like shock his like activate the inhibitor in his neck to like shock him to bring him back. So like they
Uh-huh.
shock him and they said and he just passes out and they said, "Oh no, he's getting up and he's running away again." And like Penguin's just laying there in the floor like in the street unconscious and they shock him again and then King Shark gets on the radio and he says, "It didn't work. Blow up his head, Waller. Blow up his head." So, and then it just cuts out at the end and I got really excited to see something like that because I want to see Deadshot take out Superman.
Sweet. So would I, because I hate Superman.
Okay. Right. And I just think it's cool that like two of the prominent characters in James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie are going to be in this as
Yeah.
well as playable characters. And it looks like it's also going to have co-op elements. Are you guys gamers?
Not anymore, not as much, definitely.
All
I
right.
wish.
Then we got so we got some Suicide Squad thank yous here, but then we got the Peacemaker panel. And if you did see the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker was one of the big breakout characters in that
Yeah.
movie. And John
Is that the
Cena-
guy? Is
That's
that
John
the
Cena's
guy?
character.
The guy with the toilet seat on his head?
Yes.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Mhm.
And it looks like he has a brand new toilet seat now for
God.
for the show.
So that's
Well,
fair.
you know,
Uh-huh.
you gotta change those out every
Yeah,
few
that's
months,
true.
right?
Yes. So they did a panel, and it looks like some of the supporting characters from the Suicide Squad are going to be back in this. Some of the Task Force X people that worked under Amanda Waller. And we see that Peacemaker drives an American flag Camaro. And
Because of
he
course.
yes, and he has a pet bald eagle named Eagly. And at one point in the trailer, the eagle gives him a hug.
Aw,
Yes.
it's a tender moment.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And then it's the trailer is just ridiculous because it's just John Cena just getting to have fun and
Yeah.
just be stupid. And he was actually one of my favorite characters in the Suicide Squad. I just thought he was super funny.
I liked his character too. I just wonder if it's gonna wear thin after a while, like as a series.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Yeah.
I'll check it out, believe me, because I thought he was so funny. And he definitely was one of the best parts of the movie.
Oh yeah. And then there's a scene in the trailer where he's dancing around in his underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Like like he was just walking around in that in the Suicide Squad. So it's just it looks so dumb and just it looks so violent too, and I'm here for it. But I agree with you, Chantel. Like I feel like it might wear thin after a while, like if they don't refresh it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had that. Well, how do you feel, Ro?
Yeah, I think it's. I can picture the writer say, "What if we throw this at the story? Oh yeah, that's silly. What about this? Let's see how silly we can get."
Whatever sticks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just throwing stuff
Seems
to the
like
wall.
Seems like a fun writing process and a fun writing room
Mhm.
for sure.
Yes. Well, apparently James Gunn wrote all 8 episodes and he's directing
Okay.
5
Oh,
of them.
okay. So,
Yeah. We saw Superman and Lois is now in season 2 production. There was a final season of Supergirl panel, which didn't really do much for me. Doom Patrol got greenlit for season
Mhm.
4. We also had a teaser for DC's League of Super Pets. This is going to be a CGI animated movie starring The Rock as Crypto and Kevin Hart as Ace the Bat Hound.
oh,
That is going to be awesome.
that's
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
Along with John Krasinski and a few other people that are going to be in this. Yes, and that trailer is going to hit in November, but the whole teaser is just Ace and Crypto arguing with each other, and there's a couple of pee and poop jokes in there too that just I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess we have to do this, but since it's The Rock and Kevin Hart,
Yeah.
yes,
They've been pretty crazy
Hey,
on
Amanda.
Instagram,
Yeah.
both of them. going back and forth. So I'm sure they've got some sort of internal rapport that the
Uh-huh.
animators, the producers are going to be using. What's up,
Oh yeah.
Amanda?
Hey, Amanda.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah,
Amanda.
yeah. I'm really excited to kind of see how this works in a CG film. But Crypto looks great, and the design for
Mhm.
Crypto looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't the only movie news we had here. We did get a brief sneak peek at the Flash movie, where we're gonna see. We got
Mhm.
a brief glimpse of Michael Keaton's cowl
Yeah.
because Keaton is coming back. Yes. And
Hold
then
on. Shanti needs a moment.
yes, I
He will
grew
always
up
be
with
my
Keaton.
Batman. Me too.
Yes,
He's my first.
Is he the one that did the voiceover?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what
And
I
then
thought.
and
I can't
then
wait to see him.
yes. And then that will also be Ben Affleck's last appearance as Batman as well. Okay. That's where we're going to beg to differ, but okay.
It's cool. I just don't like Ben Affleck, so
Oh, no,
that's
that's
where it
fair
stems
enough.
from. It has nothing to do with anything else but just that. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
now
And
he's really not that bad. I just can't stand him.
no, it's fine. I hate him, but he's okay.
I'll be nice.
No. And then at the very end of the teaser, they almost reveal the 89 Batmobile and it just fades to black and I yelled so loud when it faded because I just wanted to see that classic Batmobile again. And from what I've heard, this is also going to be adapting the Flashpoint story from DC Comics. So this is going to be dealing with the Flash going back in time to save his mother from dying, in which he does
Mm.
lose his powers. Hey, the Frank, how's it going?
What's
Hey,
up, Frank?
Frank.
We'll see you in a bit.
Hmm.
So, any thoughts on the Flash movie?
There was this one shot where I'm assuming it's the Flash where they're in the kitchen and he goes over and touches a woman like slicing apples or whatever she was doing.
Hmm.
What?
What I didn't understand that. Who was the woman? There the voiceover talked about, you can go in any time and save any timeline or universe. Why come back to this one? I wasn't
Yeah.
sure who those characters were.
So the woman was actually his mother, Nora. That's the one that he's trying to go back to save. Because the Reverse Flash killed Nora Allen, and that set Barry on the path to becoming the Flash. So in a
Mm,
sense, he's just trying to save. He wants to still be the Flash, but he wants to save his mom, but he can't have it both ways. And I think,
gotcha.
yeah, and I think at this point, this is probably going to reboot most of the DCEU from this
Hmm.
point forward with this movie. And that will be in November of 2022, it's looking like as well. So there was that. I'm not gonna. There was Blue Beetle movie news. So we are getting a Blue Beetle movie with Jaime Reyes as the Blue Beetle. And it's I forget his name. It's the one kid from Cobra Kai, the main
Oh yeah,
kid.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
playing Blue Beetle.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
yeah, and Blue Beetle's like one of my favorite characters, especially through Young Justice and everything. Any thoughts on Blue Beetle?
No,
I didn't check that one out.
yeah, I like seeing actors that you've seen in other things kind of get new roles, especially
Hmm.
when they're that young.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think you know, Shanti, you gotta get that resume going. But I think it's cool. I think it's
Yeah.
I guess we all live vicariously through these characters, and
Hmm.
it's just kind of cool to kind of see, some actors that we have fun watching in one show bounce
Right.
around and go to
Yeah.
another. So it's just kind of cool.
Yeah. I see Amanda in chat is saying, did not expect a Blue Beetle movie at all. So unexpected. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I think that one came out of left field for a lot of us.
Mm,
And it's something that has really piqued my interest, especially if they can bring in Booster Gold and kind of do that blue and gold type thing from the comics. Any of you Smallville fans? Or did you
Yeah,
watch Smallville?
well, I did.
Yes. Uh,
Yeah,
so they had a 20th anniversary panel with Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum celebrating the 20th anniversary of Smallville, and they were talking about like their first time on set, their last time on set, and as somebody that went through high school, like especially after 9/11, that show hit
Yeah.
so differently because it was like just a few weeks after 9/11 we got Smallville. Hey Zach, how's it going, buddy? And just that show was just so impactful, especially for Superman, and did so much
yeah.
for the Superman mythos. Uh,
And probably people that were not really big on Superman were watching that show and really got into Superman.
yeah.
And Tom Welling was great.
Hmm.
And yeah, I saw I saw a screenshot, and I'm betting it's fake, of that Smallville panel with Allison Mack calling in directly from prison. Was that real? No,
No,
right?
Bro,
Okay, I didn't think so.
don't believe
Uh,
everything you see on the internet, Ro. Come on. You should know that by
her,
now.
her and
yeah,
Tiger King called in
right.
from
Yeah,
Right. They
prison.
exactly.
called
Yeah.
in.
Exactly.
No.
Didn't think so. Yeah.
Now I
I'm
have
like, oh wow, yeah, 20th
I never
anniversary. Yeah.
checked out. I never checked out Smallville. Like my hatred for Superman runs deep.
okay.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
was
it was really, I mean, watching it, and actually I watched it with my wife, because my
Mhm.
wife is like so not into superheroes or
Right.
sci-fi or anything. But we
You.
enjoyed it. Right. We enjoyed it. She didn't finish it, and I think I stopped at in like the second to the last season,
mhm.
Right.
because we just started watching other things. But I went back and I finished it, and I remember when they first did the show, they said we're not going to go there. We're not going to show him in the suit.
Right.
And
Right.
a lot of
I
a
do
lot of
remember that.
fans, yeah, a lot of fans were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But I mean,
Mhm.
it grew in popularity. The actors were great. The stories were decent.
Mhm.
And towards the end, they changed their MO a little bit, and I think it ended pretty well. But I enjoyed the show. I liked it, and I liked the actors in them too.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I couldn't agree more. And plus it was also kind of like a big break for some actors too. Like Amy Adams
Yeah.
did an episode of Smallville.
Mm,
Kobe
Hmm.
Smulders from How I Met Your Mother did an episode of Smallville.
Love her.
Sam
yeah.
Witwer, who's Darth Maul, they
Right.
did a whole season for him. So it was huge, and
That's cool.
yeah, it's one of my favorite superhero shows of all time, and for them to put him in the suit at the very end, I thought was just brilliantly done. And
Yeah.
for the ghost of Jonathan Kent to give him the suit, I thought was great. So they did Smallville. No Chloe, no Allison Mack. It was
I was
Kristen
just wondering.
Kruk. Yes, it was Kristen Kruk.
She had like
Called in.
jail bars behind her
Yeah.
Yeah,
background. Okay.
yeah, orange jumpsuit. So then we also had Batwoman season 2 recap and a season 3 sneak peek. It looks like Batwoman and Alice are working together. I haven't watched the show at all. I it, I don't know. I like the whole character of Kate Kane, and I was interested to see where it was going, but I kind of just fell by the wayside with that show. The
Right.
CW shows are so hard to follow sometimes anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and that some of it is shot here in Chicago. So
Oh wow.
yeah. So no, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Then we got the Gotham Knights trailer. This is going to be a video game focusing on um, life in Gotham after Bruce Wayne dies and the
Oh.
mystery of the Court of Owls. And this is going to be an action RPG that features Tim Drake, or yeah, Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Barbara Gordon, all trying to clean up Gotham and make it a better
Mm,
place in the
Huh,
absence of
interesting.
Bruce, which I think will be interesting, and especially focusing on the Court of Owls, which they're some of my favorite villains, and Scott
hmm.
Snyder created them. First season was great. The first season of Batwoman was great. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Like it's on HBO
We got some
Max.
We got some controversy in the chat. First,
Uh,
someone says first season's good. Then I watched the first season. It's not that good.
Yeah,
So yeah, got some
yeah.
opposing opinions in the chat.
It's all good. It's all good. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to celebrate all of this and argue with
exactly.
each other over whether or not Superman's cool or not. Um, Gotham Knights is going to be amazing. Can't wait to play as Batgirl and Nightwing. Yes, that is going to be huge. And it looks like Christopher Sean from Star Wars Resistance is going to be playing Dick Grayson,
Hmm.
aka Nightwing, in
I
Gotham
heard, yeah.
Knights, which is pretty cool. Then we got the Catwoman Hunted animated movie trailer, which this one looks like it's kind of an anime movie that just deals with Catwoman just trying to do a heist and then get hunted by people. And it looked
I'll watch
fun.
that.
Yeah, it
I'll
looked
check
like
that
fun.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
like
that,
Catwoman.
yes, that will be coming in 2022. And then with that, we found out that there were going to be 5 new animated movies coming in 2022, in which one of them, Matt Ryan, is going to be reprising his role as John Constantine in one of those movies, which I love Matt Ryan as John Constantine. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I know that some people are still wish Keanu would come back to play
Yeah.
Mhm.
Constantine, but I
Yeah.
I really like Matt Ryan.
I,
So, huh?
no, I think I agree with you. I think we've had this discussion on the Scarab Scuttlebutt before regarding big name actors when
Yeah.
with these roles, and
Hmm.
I think the second guy, the you mentioned his name just now. I'm just not familiar with their name. I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I think, but for me, big actors take me out of
Hmm.
the the spirit of whatever it is that they're playing. So Keanu
Right.
Reeves is
It's
Constantine. Okay, it's
distracting.
good. It's it's big Hollywood, but you're right. It is a little distracting, and I like having lesser known actors in the roles because I'm there to be transported into this world, not thinking, oh, Tom Cruise is a Jedi.
Yeah.
So it just kind of takes me out of it. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yes. Amanda's saying she loves the DC animated movies. I think a lot of us do. They're great adaptations of the source material. I
We just gave this away,
Oh,
the
nice.
digital
Finally.
code of this finally. But you were saying you have
Took a
this, you've
minute.
seen this?
I have not seen that.
I haven't. No.
How is it?
I haven't checked it out yet because I just opened it so I can give out the digital code. But it looks really cool. It's
Yeah.
very 70s ish, and the
Hmm.
artwork. I got to look into this because the artwork really does look like Alex Ross's work, and he's local. He lives here in the Chicagoland area, so
Oh,
looking
nice.
forward to taking a look at Batman: Soul of the Dragon. It's almost got like this Bruce Lee feel to it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here's the back of that. Yeah, we gave that away on the Scarab Scuttlebutt single question sentry mode that we did on our last episode on Vigilantes. If you have not checked it out,
Nice. I will definitely check it out. These are some of the ones that I have too. This is Wonder Woman. I might actually have to go to the speaker grid here, speaker view, real quick. So that's Wonder Woman right there. Which Wonder Woman is a fantastic animated movie. And then we also have Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, which is absolutely fantastic. This is a better adaptation than I think the live action Flash movie is going to be. but but they're both really, really good. So we have those. And yeah, I'll check out that Batman movie. It looks really cool. And they've done so much with Batman. Uh,
mm-hmm.
Then we had the celebration of 100 episodes of Legends of Tomorrow, which I think is actually the more stronger of the CW TV shows because
Yeah.
of its ensemble cast. Then we were getting a Batman audio drama, Batman Unburied,
Oh,
in which
nice.
Winston Duke has announced that he's Batman. If you're unfamiliar with Winston Duke, he's
Hmm.
M'Baku in the MCU from the Black Panther movies.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Batman's busy.
that man is
Jeez.
very busy. The man is very busy. We got a Batgirl movie update, which is pretty cool. I have to look up her name again. What is. I saw it earlier. I'm sorry, I have to look it up. But they were just talking about how they're doing. Oh, her name is Leslie Grace. She's going to be
Hmm.
playing Batgirl, and it looks like J.K. Simmons is rumored to be coming back as Jim Gordon
Yeah, I heard
as
that too.
well.
A
And
little crossover for him there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, which
He's such a great actor.
yes, yes, he's a fantastic
I
actor.
love him.
Yeah, I loved him in Whiplash. That's
Hmm.
such a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very. Yes, very. Let me see here. Looks like Titans got greenlit for season 4, which I actually really like the Titans show. I think that's pretty interesting and fun, and they've adapted quite a few different classic storylines. Looks like Harley Quinn got a season 3 sizzle
Nice.
reel,
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
which that show is, if you've
Love it.
never watched that show,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a fool.
it's
I'm
it's
sorry.
it's batshit crazy.
It's
Yeah.
so great.
That show is fucking bonkers and
It's
in the
funny.
best. Yeah, go ahead.
It's crude. It's crude.
It
It's so
is.
great. I love it.
It is. I mean, the first
It
episode.
pokes fun too. It pokes fun, and I'm here for it. Like
Yeah,
their version of Gordon, of Jim Gordon, is like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
coffee addicted Jim Gordon.
He's insane, but he's like what I would think after having to be partnered with Batman for so long. Yeah, I would imagine he'd be bonkers like that by now.
Oh yeah,
He's, oh,
it's
he's
it's.
it's great.
I will tell you right now.
Very good.
Do not watch it with kids because it
No,
Right.
is
Yeah.
it is
no,
vulgar,
I
it is
I heard.
vulgar,
Yeah.
vulgar,
but
and
it's funny.
I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, it's great. And I mean, Alan Tudyk, they brought him in to play the Joker, and he's
He's so good at
amazing.
it,
He's so funny.
and I love him as Clayface.
Yes.
He's very funny.
Oh, he just keeps wanting to prove that he's like this award-winning actor.
But I think the award needs to go to whoever is the guy that voices Bane, because the way that they portray Bane in that cartoon is ridiculous and it's wonderful.
And they keep putting Bane and like Kite Man at like the secondary tables and stuff. Oh, I could go on and on about that show. And Tony Hale. Tony Hale, I forget
Yeah.
who he plays, but he's vulgar
Um,
too.
Dr. Psycho?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He plays
he's
this
great.
tiny.
Everyone's really good. I mean, the voice acting is amazing on that show.
Yes, it's so funny. And just the relationship between Harley and Ivy is great too.
It's
So,
perfect. Don't
uh,
change it.
yeah, exactly. Don't change that. And like we said, if you haven't seen it, check it out because it's so ridiculous and
Hmm.
so funny. And the King Shark, like my wife kept like talking about how adorable King Shark looked in that sizzle reel because he's wearing a little hoodie and a button down and he's got tennis shoes on and everything. It just looked, I mean, he looks
So well
great.
done.
Yes. It looks like we are also going to be going back almost to the world of Batman the Animated Series here. Bruce
Nice.
Timm is teaming up with J.J. Abrams
Wow.
Cool.
and Matt Reeves to produce Batman the Caped Crusader animated series. So this is going to be similar to Batman the Animated Series, and they said they kind of want to go the year 2 route where Batman's still kind of starting off. You won't
Right.
really see much of his gadgets until
Hmm.
later on in the series, which I think is a pretty smart move because we've always
Down
seen
for that.
Batman. Yeah,
Hmm.
we've always seen Batman like have the gadgets. Like we've never seen him just a couple of times, like in flashbacks, we've never like really seen Batman like start out.
Right.
Start out. But
And that's what they mentioned in the sizzle reel for the Batman. They
yeah.
talked about how, we've seen Batman go into the future and
Hmm.
fantasy
Hmm.
world and stuff like that. We obviously see him in his prime, but we really
Right.
haven't explored, at least in film, the impetus of him becoming, the Dark Knight and
Yeah.
the year one storyline. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping to get more Bruce Wayne out of this actually, and I think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that we need to start exploring more is
Hmm.
Bruce Wayne's
I
psyche.
want the duality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And how he can switch between both
Hmm.
of them and how he
Yeah.
gets to that
We
point.
like crazy people.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's why we're here.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had that. We have Young Justice season 4. Actually the first 2 episodes are now available on HBO Max. If you've never watched Young Justice, definitely check that out. All 4 seasons are now streaming on HBO Max. That was kind of Teen Titans After Dark. Like they
Mm.
really explored some serious subject matter in that show. And the cast, the voice cast is amazing. They brought Bruce Greenwood in to play Batman and Bruce Wayne, and he's absolutely
Love Bruce
fantastic.
Greenwood.
Yes, he's one of my favorite animated Batmans, especially with Under the Red Hood. Just the
Yeah.
Yeah.
performance he gives in that movie.
Amanda says that hope we see more of his detective skills as well.
Yeah,
I
I think we
also
Yes.
are going
would
to.
want to see
Yeah,
that
Yes.
and I think
because
we
if we
will.
get back to him being a
Hmm.
detective and not
Hmm.
really, because obviously people see Batman as like a superhero. He's not
Yep.
really like a superhero, no
Right.
superpowers, et cetera, et
Hmm.
cetera. His skills were, the police work, the detective work,
Yeah.
like you said, Shanti, up
Yeah,
in there.
his
So I would
mind.
really would love to kind of and somebody posted, aren't we tired of the superhero trope movie? And maybe some of us are,
Yeah.
but I would really love to see Batman kind of go back to the roots,
Hmm.
back to when he was a detective in the
Hmm.
comic books and kind of, exploring that. And like, I think that would be great. And if this is kind of the start of that,
Yeah.
I think these films will do fairly well,
Yeah.
especially because they're not reboots of the Chris Nolan movies. They're not
Right.
reboots of
It's totally on its own.
Schumacher,
Hmm.
right? So I think each one of those franchises lives within their own little world.
Hmm.
They're largely connected, obviously, but if we go into that realm, I think they would be highly successful, and I think fans will love that.
Yeah.
Amen. Will.
I totally agree with that.
Me too.
Zach in chat says, but if they continued with Gotham, they could have easily explored that, meaning his detective skills. Yeah, they could have,
Right.
but Gotham decided to go batshit crazy with all of its characters and
No pun
everything,
intended.
and yeah, and just I don't know. I stopped watching Gotham after a while.
So
I
did
just
I.
couldn't get
I,
into
I
it.
I stopped after the first season. I really
Yeah,
could not get into it
it
at
it,
all.
it was a tough show. It was a really tough show to watch. I
Yeah.
think after Fish Mooney scooped out her eye with a spoon, I was done. Yeah.
Every time I watched that show, I felt like taking a shower afterwards because it was so
Yes.
dark and gritty and dirty. And it's like,
Yes.
oh, I mean, it's unfortunately it was one of those shows that, like, because it made you feel that certain way, you just didn't want to go back there because
Oh,
you
I know.
knew, was
Right.
what was there. Um, yeah. So
Good downer.
fine.
So Amanda says I stopped watching it after the first 2 seasons. Yeah, I think we're all kind of in that
Yeah.
Yeah.
consensus. Like, it just, like, I felt like I had to force myself to watch it every week
Yeah.
Mm.
because I was thinking
Yeah,
of
it's not
more of
good.
like, I wanted it to be more of like this Law and Order type show
Right.
set
Yeah.
in Gotham and not really deal with Bruce. And
Right.
like, we never really got that.
They
So,
definitely went off the rails after a while.
Mm.
yes, they did.
Yeah.
So we have 2 things before we get to our main topic. We have Shazam: Fury of the Gods. That movie is going to be released in 2023. We got a behind the scenes video for that. It looks like the entire original cast is coming back except for Mark Strong, who is, no longer
Right.
involved. And this was really funny because they showed the layer that they got, and they actually have a sign on the side of the layer that says layer, and I just thought that was great. And what are your thoughts on the first Shazam movie?
I
Didn't see
personally
it.
liked it. I loved it.
Yeah.
It got a lot of hate, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. I
Yes.
like how they explored, kind of all the stereotypical things that people would do if you suddenly had powers. So I enjoyed that in that whole montage with the other
My
kids. So I don't know.
hands.
I had fun with it.
Yes.
I mean,
It's
look, everyone has their dark side and everyone has their light side.
mhm.
So for me, that spoke to my more fun, like Marvel side, I guess. So I'm
Yes.
looking forward to the sequel.
Yes, me too. And it's what we talked about earlier with The Rock being born to play Black Adam. Zachary
hmm
Levi was born to play Shazam.
I love him to begin with. So
Yeah.
he's Chuck. So I'm cool with
Yes.
that. I love Chuck. That was a
Uh,
great show.
yes, Chuck was a great show, and I loved him as Flynn Rider in Tangled
Yeah,
as
yes, I love
well.
Tangled. Yeah, he was really
Yes.
good in that.
Yeah, so and it's just great to see him just be a big kid with these movies, which is
hmm
fun. Amanda says, loved it, loved the comedy in Shazam. Yeah, the
Me too.
comedy's amazing, especially when he's singing Lightning from My Hands to Eye of
Ro
the
doesn't Ro
Tiger.
doesn't laugh, so he
Ro
doesn't really
doesn't
understand
laugh.
comedy.
You don't enjoy joy.
I don't like laughter.
He's a robot. You didn't know?
No, I
He's
didn't
really
know
a
that.
droid.
Okay. Tune in
No.
next week as we explore that.
Mhm.
So,
Uh,
so we had that. Then we had the Wonder Woman 80th anniversary celebration, and we now have Patty Jenkins confirm that she's working on Wonder Woman 3.
Enough said. I
Yeah.
I didn't see Wonder Woman 84. I
Mhm.
saw the first one. It was fantastic.
Yes.
But it got so much word of mouth, so much bad word of mouth, that second one, that I didn't even bother with it.
I'm so happy I watched that on
So
HBO Max.
Me too.
yeah,
Me too.
I was gonna go to the theater to see that, and
Mhm.
I'm really glad I didn't because it wasn't worth it.
It's it's such a messy movie. It's
hmm
such a messy movie, and it's way too long.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like the stuff with uh, Diana and Steve, like when they're
hmm
like talking and she's kind of showing Steve around
Right.
1980s DC. But other than that, it wasn't that good. And the premise to bring Steve back, I thought was terrible.
uh,
Yeah.
Yeah. So Amanda says, I hope Wonder Woman 3 is better than the second one. It was just terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
It
It's
didn't send me.
Yeah, love the first Wonder Woman setting in World War One. Yeah, you
yeah,
can't top that no man's land scene. No
Yeah.
matter
right,
what you do, you just can't top
yeah.
that no man's land
hmm
scene. So,
And especially, we did a show about casting, perfect casting, and I think Gal
Right.
Gadot is the perfect
hmm
Wonder Woman. And obviously,
yes.
Linda Carter will always be Wonder Woman,
Oh,
Oh
well,
but
yeah.
obviously.
Gal Gadot, I can watch a movie of her just slicing bread.
Yes.
She's
And
gorgeous.
and if you ever watch the Snyder cut, they
hmm
really do her justice in the Snyder
Okay,
cut.
cool.
Yeah,
No
they
pun,
did.
Yeah.
no pun
No, they
intended.
really did.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
No, but
no
they
no
really
pun
did.
intended.
I,
Yeah,
I, I agree.
they do more for her character in that movie than they
hmm
do in the 2.5 hours that's dedicated to her character
Yep, I
in Wonder
agree.
Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Yeah. So my brother-in-law is in chat, and I told him just wait, just wait. Don't go to the theaters to see it. Just wait for it to be on
Yeah.
HBO Max. And now he said, I'm glad Eric told me to wait to watch it. Yeah.
And I liked Kristen Wiig. I didn't mind her
Yes.
as Cheetah, but I felt like we didn't get enough of her. I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I felt like they did her an injustice.
they did, and
And
as
Pedro Pascal was a little,
Too much.
little over the
yeah,
top for me. It was a
as
bit much.
as much as I love Pedro Pascal,
I
especially with The
do.
Mandalorian, but
Yeah, of course. And Narcos. I mean, he's great, but
yes,
that was a bit much. And I think
yeah,
they should have chosen one. I don't like when there's too many villains, and two I think was a little too much.
yeah, it felt almost Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3-esque to me
hmm
Mm.
Oh,
in a way.
please
I,
don't bring that up.
yeah, I'm not going to remind you about that.
That was painful.
So let's get to our big thing. This is the thing that
Yes.
we've all been wanting to talk about. the Batman trailer. Thank you for bearing with me through all of that news.
So,
But the Batman trailer, give me your thoughts. Let's go. Let's do this. Whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Shanti.
ladies first. I am
Ladies first.
stoked. I am psyched. But again, because Batman has been done dirty
Yes.
before, I'm always wary. So I'm actually trying to temper my excitement. But as we were talking about earlier, I have plenty of faith in Robert Pattinson. I think he's
Yes.
going to do a fine job. I think everyone needs to get Twilight out of their head. Like I said, I'm always going to defend actors, and I get it. You've got to do certain things that you don't want to do if you want to make it in the industry. So I'll forgive the sparkles. I'll give him a chance. Listen, I think he does brooding very well. He has that look to begin with as just a regular person. So I think we're finally. Catwoman has always been my favorite. I love Catwoman. I've always enjoyed the sexual tension between Catwoman and Batman. I've always loved it, and I finally think I'm gonna get some justice there too with Catwoman, because I haven't liked any Catwoman since Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Because I did not like Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
She is not sexy enough for me. I didn't like the way she was portrayed in that movie anyway. I won't talk about Halle Berry.
we don't talk about that.
We don't
I
talk
needed
about that.
lobotomy after that one.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's dark. I think I read somewhere that it's almost like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And the fact that they keep showing so little of Paul Dano, I'm very excited for how the Riddler is going to be portrayed and what his interpretation is. Because, that's what I love. Yeah, you can write all the stories you want, but of course the actors are always going to bring their own interpretation of the character when they read a script. And he's a great actor, so I'm looking forward to that. And Colin Farrell, oh my God. It doesn't even look like him.
Unrecognizable.
It doesn't even look like him.
Right.
Yes.
But I think he's going to be a side character because they showed a lot of the Penguin in this trailer. So I'm wondering what his role is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ro, go ahead.
I mentioned this earlier. I love movies, and I usually don't go into movies with preconceived notions. Like, after The Force Awakens, I was super excited about The Last Jedi. I went in there, we all know
You said it, Ro.
we all know how Ro feels about The Last Jedi. But it's I don't go in thinking, oh, this actor was in this, so this movie's gonna suck. No, I go in there open-hearted. I love movies. I love the experience. I love going to a theater. So, trailers are fantastic. I love the teases that they give us, the sizzle reels, as I mentioned earlier. But I'm really excited to see this incarnation of Batman.
Yeah.
I think it looks ultra dark, ultra violent.
Yes.
And I kind of like that. I know a lot of people are kind of, done with the dark and moody, but I like superheroes dark and moody.
And that's
I
Batman.
think, yeah, exactly.
Get over it.
I mean,
That's
they all, and we all have a duality to our personalities, and it's
100%.
exaggerated on the big screen with these characters, and there's a reason for it because they explore the duality within us, and there's something that we latch onto of that duality that I think is subliminally what we enjoy. So I'm really looking forward to exploring that, like Shanti, like you said, exploring, Bruce Wayne and exploring his motivations and all that stuff. I mean, his suit alone is like, oh my God.
I know.
What
the
it represents.
gun inside the symbol.
Man.
It's
I want more of that.
That's so poetic. I love it. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
This trailer just got me so excited for this movie. And Matt Reeves, as much as I don't like the rebooted Planet of the Apes movies, I love Matt Reeves as a director.
Right.
Especially like Cloverfield is like I didn't like that movie when I first saw it, but the more I watched it, the more I just ended up loving it. But Matt Reeves, what a cast. Paul Dano, which if you've never seen There Will Be Blood, he's amazing in that movie. And
one of the greatest movies I've ever seen.
yes, absolutely. Colin Farrell, looks unrecognizable. They did such an amazing job with that makeup, and I
Mhm.
love that chase. I want more
Yeah.
of that car chase,
Yeah.
like in my veins now. The Batmobile, we haven't even touched on the Batmobile yet.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I love it.
I mean, I actually still to this day kind of don't like the one in Christopher Nolan's Batman, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I didn't like
I mean, which one
that.
is your favorite Batmobile?
I
Ooh,
would
you have
have
to
to
think about that one.
I would have to say the one from Batman Returns. I yes, I do love the original Batman,
Hmm.
but and I of course I do love the one from the 1960s just because I like classic cars, so that just goes
Yes.
with the territory. Because I
Yeah.
like cars in general, but I would have to say Batman Returns because I'm not going to touch the Joel Schumacher
No.
Batmobile.
No. For me, it's the animated series one.
Mm,
Yeah, that one is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
yeah.
forget to throw in the animated series because the animated series was a phenomenal,
Yeah.
phenomenal cartoon.
Yes. And I'm hoping it looks like we might see like more influences from the animated series in this Batman movie too, because
Yeah,
in the
that
animated
was a
series,
dark series.
yeah, and but we got to see him be a detective
Right,
Mhm.
in that.
right.
And I think that's the thing that Nolan's movies are missing is the detective part. You see it a little bit in The
You
Dark
get a
Knight,
little bit of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like in Batman Begins, he's just punching his way through things.
Mhm.
And in The Dark Knight Rises, he's punching his way through things.
Hmm.
Like he's not really thinking about like what's going on around him and
He's
like
not detecting.
yeah,
Right.
he's not pun intended, but yeah,
Thanks, Ro.
he's not. How do we feel about Jeffrey Wright playing Commissioner Gordon? Because I love this casting, by the way.
Oh,
He's a
all
great
for it.
actor.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I'm all
yeah,
for
Yeah,
it.
he's phenomenal. Yeah.
yeah.
And as always, I've always been okay with pretty much every actor that's ever played Alfred, and I love
Mhm,
Andy Serkis, so
yes.
I think that'll be good as well,
Hmm.
honestly. They never seem to get Alfred wrong. I
No,
really have never hated a single actor that has played Alfred.
Yeah.
yeah. Amanda says need to see more of the Batmobile before I can decide, but it looks better
Yeah,
than the Nolan one.
I didn't get much of it.
Yes. Okay, so should there be a Bat Home
Bet
a,
on how many
a bet
times
how many
Robert is
times?
going to have a flashback of parents dying. If I have to see
Oh,
his, although they did it, Zack Snyder did it really well, and they shot it
yeah.
here in Chicago at the Aragon Ballroom on Lawrence Avenue in the Uptown neighborhood. And every time I pass that by, I always scream out, Martha!
So stupid. So
That's his
funny.
mother's name. Yeah. I I love the way Snyder did it. And I also love the way that Todd Phillips alludes to it in Joker,
Right. Yeah.
where we
Yeah,
don't see it.
Right.
yeah.
I just don't want to see it again because it's like watching Uncle Ben die over and over and over
And I was just
again.
gonna say, he says he's tired of that, but
Yeah.
you always talk about how you miss Uncle Ben though in these newer Spider-Man ones. It's like if you kind of don't
Well,
know it by now.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
understand what you're talking about because you don't get the whole, with great power comes great responsibility
Yeah.
thing. I
yeah.
understand that,
That's his
but
big motivation. But I think, the guns in this new Batman is going to represent that. And I think
Yeah.
yeah.
anybody that knows the history of Batman will
Mhm.
get it. But I think, as a film, as a movie that should stand alone, to a degree,
Right.
there's got to be some sort of, like Zach said, maybe a flashback or some, you know, conversation or something that has to do.
Right.
That's
Right.
that's one of the things that I think Marvel is missing with the
Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man is that there's absolutely no mention of Peter Parker's Ben
Right.
and his motivation. There's
Right.
like absolutely nothing. It's like
Yeah.
you see Peter Parker and he's Spider-Man. Why?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that they take it into a new direction and they give us something really cool to kind of sink our teeth into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this is now I've heard that this movie's nearly 3 hours long.
Give it to me.
Fine
Yeah,
by me.
I
exactly.
love long movies. I
Fine,
don't
me,
care.
yeah, it doesn't bother me
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
At all.
And I'm really hoping for an R rating for this one too. I want an
God,
R-rated
yes.
Batman movie.
Please.
Like seriously.
Please.
Then we can get that Batman scene with Selena Kyle. Oh, I'm going.
Oh, Don't go there because I'm okay with that too. And that pissed me off so much, especially if you understand in the context of that show, the Harley Quinn animated series,
Yes.
you know it's going to be played for comedic purposes. So why people got so up in arms about that is beyond me. You suck, DC. That was
The wor- the worst Batman hookup is still in the Killing Joke animated movie when he
that
hooks up
I
with
is
just I
Barbara.
saw that 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
And I wasn't expecting it to be so violent either. I mean, I knew
Yeah.
it was going to be kind of like,
Oh.
and then all of a sudden, you know,
not
this
this violent.
Yeah.
this thug gets shot in the head, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yes.
all
Sweet.
right, this is where we're going.
All right.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
No.
No.
That to me is like out of all of the great DC animated movies, that to me is like the worst
Especially to
one.
do that to like such a great graphic novel too. I had
Yes.
Yeah,
oh come on, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
Really? This is where you drop the ball? The killing jar? Are you kidding me
yeah.
right now?
This is going to
Totally.
Yeah.
sound really bad, but by the time Barbara got shot, I was hoping that she would get shot. Like I was actually
Yeah.
happy that she got shot.
Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yep.
Yeah.
That was good movie.
So bad.
Not a good
But
movie.
Pattinson's Batman, I think that this movie's going to kill. This movie is
Think so too.
literally going to kill. And March 4th, it's literally around the corner from
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that this is going to be like the first big movie of 2022. We're going to get
Mhm.
I think there's a Marvel movie maybe in February, but or maybe
I
not.
think
I don't
Doctor
remember.
Strange is in March.
Yeah, Doctor
Doctor
Strange is in
Strange is
March.
in March.
Yeah.
But I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised by the Batman.
I
Yeah.
isn't Moon Knight coming out early next year too?
Yeah, that'll be on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Oscar Isaac's
Mhm.
series, which we'll get to at another time. But the Batman. Any other thoughts on this? Like, how do you think we'll see like the Court of Owls in this? Are we going to get a lot of the Rogues Gallery, or are we just getting the Riddler and Penguin here?
Oh, I don't know. And
I
has there even been any
yeah.
discussion about this being literally just a standalone? Is there any possibility of sequels?
Always, there's always possibility
Oh,
once
I
the money
know,
starts
but are they
rolling
going to
in.
actually
Yeah.
tease
Yeah,
something? Is that intention
could
already
be.
there?
I mean,
Yeah.
they've talked about a Joker sequel, but that movie just works fine on its own. You don't need
Yeah.
a sequel to that.
Please don't. Please don't.
But with this, I mean, you could explore the Rogues Gallery. I think you have enough characters in this movie to like
Yeah.
just explore these four characters for a
Yeah,
while.
I think we have
Yeah.
enough. I think we
Yeah.
have enough.
Yeah.
It's going to be overstuffed.
You think it could be? Amanda says, I think it could be alluded to the Court of Owls. Yeah, I think that that would be fun. Kind of have like if you do this as a trilogy, kind of have the Court of Owls as the big bad overall, like throughout the
Right.
thing. So, anything else on fandom or the Batman?
I'm just
No.
looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks dark. It looks, action packed. I think there's a lot of material there for us fans to kind of, chew on. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice march with my buddies making our trek down to the local
yeah,
Cineplex.
Yeah.
yeah. I think that that'll be the one that gets me in the theaters in 2022.
Yeah,
As much as I don't want to get my hopes up, I am ridiculously excited for
yeah.
this movie.
Amanda
Ridiculously
says,
excited.
yeah. Amanda says Suicide Squad game looks awesome. Yeah, Suicide Squad looks awesome. You can't go wrong with them, except that 2016 movie. But
I'm disappointed.
yes, but James
No,
Gunn
I love
gave us
James
a
Gunn.
good,
I
a good
did like
Suicide
that movie.
Squad
I
movie.
enjoyed it.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, I didn't even cover like half the stuff because this would have been like a 3-hour show if we did. But I just wanted to get the big highlights out of the way. That's it. Anything else to add?
No, I think
No?
we covered
No.
it all.
All
I
right.
think our OCD is taking a look at your Blu-ray case back there. You got to do
Oh
some
yeah.
straightening up.
Yeah,
Oh, I
man,
do.
that's
I
try
do.
not to look at it.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I even have like books on here too. Like,
Oh no, we gotta fix
yeah, no,
that.
yeah, it's been 2 years since we moved in here, and I'm still organizing this Blu-ray case. So, yeah, I'll work on it.
No,
I have 9 days
We'll hold
off.
you to
years
it.
from now.
Yeah,
We'll hold you to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, 2 years from now. But that's it for us. Shorter show this week, guys. Shorter show this week, but that's going to be it for us. I know that you guys have to get going here in just a few minutes because you guys are recording, which is
Yes.
huge. So I wish you all the best of luck with that. I hope that you have a
Thank you.
great show tonight. Uh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Chat, that's it for us. We will see you next week. Don't forget, our RPG show is live in less than 2 weeks. We are continuing our Old Republic adventure, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, that's it for me. My name is Eric. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Chantel, for joining me. You guys
Thank you
have
for having
been
us on.
Yes, you guys have been great. You are welcome anytime. Just shoot me a message. But other than that, that's it for us. Hope that you all have an amazing week. We have 2 live streams coming at you from Disney this week, so we will see you then.